Welcome to Whiskey High IQ, Episode 4, Welcome to the Speyside. It's time to learn about some Scotch. Welcome to Speyside, Scotland's most celebrated whiskey region, known for its abundance of distilleries, complex flavor profiles, and a deep connection to tradition. Speyside Scotch has captured the hearts of whiskey lovers worldwide. Join us as we explore its history, unique taste, iconic distilleries, and why Speyside is considered the beating heart of Scotch whiskey. Nestled along the River Spey in northeastern Scotland, Speyside whiskey's heritage stretches back centuries. The region's fertile farmland and abundant water supply made it an ideal location for whiskey production. Nestled along the River Spey in northeastern Scotland, Speyside whiskey heritage stretches back centuries. The region's fertile farmlands and abundant water supply made it an ideal location for whiskey production, with early distilleries taking advantage of these natural resources. However, in the 18th century was a tumultuous time for this whiskey-making culture. A heavy taxation forced many into illicit distillations. Speyside became known for its skilled moonshiners, who evaded illicit officers by hiding barrels in the dense forests and alongside the River Spey itself. In 1823, the Excise Act legalized distillation for a fee, paving the way for Speyside whiskey's boom. Glenfiddich, one of the region's most famous names, was among the first to embrace the legal distillations, setting a standard for high-quality Scotch. By the late 19th century, Speyside experienced an explosion of distillery openings. Thanks to advancements in its railway transport and global popularity of blended Scotch, the region grew to house over 50 distilleries, including iconic names such as Macallan, Glenfiddich, and Balvenie. Today, Speyside accounts for nearly half of Scotland's whiskey production, cementing its reputation as the heart and soul of Scotch whiskey. That's why when we jump over to our tasting room in a little bit, we're going to enjoy a Glenfiddich 14. Tasting coming soon. Speyside whiskeys are known for their elegance and complexity. They're often described as rich and fruity, with flavors ranging from orchard fruits to honey and vanilla and spice. While many Speyside whiskeys are unpeated, some distilleries incorporate subtle peat to add a depth and smokiness. Some would even say a slight complexity. The region's flavor diversity stems from its distillers' craftsmanship and access to high-quality ingredients. Speyside whiskeys are approachable for newcomers while offering nuanced depth for seasoned enthusiasts, making them a perfect starting point or a lifelong favorite. Speyside is home to over 50 distilleries, each contributing its own unique twist to the region's whiskey landscape. Let's take a closer look at three of the most famous or iconic names in Speyside Scotch. Founded in 1887 by William Grant, Glenfiddich remains family-owned, and it is one of the world's best-selling single malts. Known for its vibrant fruitiness and hints of pear, Glenfiddich whiskeys are a staple for Speyside's profile and a symbol of global appeal. Macallan is synonymous with luxury and craftsmanship. Renowned for its sherry cask maturation, Macallan offers rich, full-bodied whiskeys with flavors of dried fruit, spice, and chocolate. Its attention to detail and innovation has made it a collector's favorite. Balvenie prides itself on tradition, being one of the few distilleries to maintain its own malting floor and cooperage, known for a smooth, honeyed whiskey with notes of vanilla and spice. Balvenie embodies the craftsmanship that defines Speyside Scotches. Speyside whisky showcase an incredible range of flavors. Glenfiddich hallmark pear and green apple notes make it a bright and refreshing choice. Macallan offers rich profiles of dried fruit, orange zest, and chocolate from its sherry cask influence, and Balvenie delivers silky honey, vanilla, gentle spice, perfect for savoring on a quiet evening. These whiskeys are versatile. They shine in tasting sessions, pairings, or simply neat, reflecting the creativity and the traditions of Speyside's master distillers. Speyside's legacy is built on innovation, tradition, and an unwavering commitment to quality. Its whiskeys, from the approachable Glenfiddich to the luxurious Macallan, continue to captivate whiskey lovers from around the globe. Whether you're new to Scotch or a lifelong consumer, Speysides offer you something special in every dram. Raise a glass to Speyside, a region that embodies the heart and soul of Scotch whiskey. Salancha. Now let's jump over to the tasting room and actually do our tasting of Glenfiddich 14, and then we'll toast and end this episode. Cheers. Hey there, GolfCask Nation. This is Brian Bailey here, bringing you a new Poor Decisions. We're going to go ahead and rank Glenfiddich 14. That's right, a Scotch from the Speyside. It is a 14-year-old. It is at 92 proof, aged 14 years in used bourbon barrels, and then the last year or so it's aged in a brand new white oak barrel like that's used for bourbon, but again, not used. So Glenfiddich, as you can see on the bottle, I actually love their bottle. You can see there's a stag at the top. Glenfiddich means Valley of the Deer. Glenfiddich, of course, is associated with the Fiddich River in Scotland, which is also in Speyside. And again, if you start to think about the heritage, the story of Glenfiddich, this bottle encapsulates everything that they do. One of my favorite scotches, the 14-year-old. I like the 12 as well, and I've had the others as you moved up, but to me, again, I really enjoyed the 14. So without further ado, I love that noise. Let's do a quick tasting. So the first thing we're gonna do is look at the color. So this is a 14-year. Now we're starting to see we're getting that nice copper working on amber coloring. So again, we're looking at something that has been aged 14 years. And again, equivalency, divide that in half, this would be kind of like a 7-year-old bourbon, right? Let's look at our legs. You can see the legs are running skinny and fast. So we know our proof is down, but they're definitely oily. We're getting a lot of legs here. A nice oily product, so not super dry. Again, really, really good looking whiskey. So let's actually get our nose here. I actually get malt, of course. This is a single malt. A single malt means what? Everybody out there, you should know. I'm not even going to tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. It means it was produced in one distillery, and it's 100% malted barley. Nice. I'm getting vanilla, and I'm getting a lot of fruit. Kind of like tree fruits, pears, apples. That's what I kind of think of when I start to think of Irishes and I start thinking of Scotches that don't have a peat flavor to it. And again, this is non-smoked, non-peated, so we're not going to get that smoky background. But overall, really, really fine nose. You know, to me, vanilla and fruit, malt, not super crazy nose. I would say very average. I would give it a 3. Let's go to taste. Cheers. Sláinte Ba. I like that. I like that a lot. I think for a lot of bourbon drinkers, you'd really appreciate this one. Again, it is malted, so it has a different sweetness, but I would say this is pushing caramel toffee sweet, opposed to like a honey sweet that I'm traditionally used to with a Scotch. And again, bourbons, you're gonna get that caramel toffee brown sugar flavor, but this to me, because of the aged barrels inside of old bourbon barrels, I think you're really starting to pull some notes like that of a bourbon. So I think this would be a great bridge for those that are actually bourbon drinkers that are trying to think about expanding their palate maybe into a Scotch. I think Glenfiddich 14 really sets that up. So I'm getting toffee sweet, I'm getting oak, definitely getting that kind of malt, but there's a spice. It's not the rye spice, but there is a spicy, oaky charredness to it. Maybe it's the oak from the barrel. So overall, getting a lot of features that I would kind of contrast with that of a bourbon. So at the nose, again, we said a 3, really good nose, really good whiskey. I would say on taste, I would actually give this probably a 3.5. And the reason I would go 3.5 is I think it's giving you surprising flavors that you're not used to inside of a single malt. I think a lot of times when we think of single malt, we think of Scotch, we think of smoke, we think of malt, honey, floral. I'm not getting any of those notes. I'm getting fruit, I'm getting sugar, I'm getting vanilla. I'm starting to get a lot of those things I think about inside of a bourbon. So I'm gonna go 3.5, and let's go on the finish here. Kind of the second half of the taste, you get that spice note. The finish is medium long, sweet. So you get that spice and you get the second layer of sweet as the finish, and it just kind of hangs around. It's a little dry on the finish. I wouldn't say super oily or hangs around viscous in your mouth, but it does kind of hang around a little bit. So finish, I like it. I would give it a good average score again. So I'm gonna go 3, 3.5, 3 overall ranking. We'll have to give this a par. To me, this is a good quality Scotch. Again, it's Glenfiddich. It's the Valley of the Deer. It is one of the biggest brands inside of the Scotch market, especially in the Speyside. I really enjoy. Again, I'm trying to expand my horizons in the Scotch world. I enjoy bourbons, I enjoy ryes much more, but I really do appreciate this kind of bridging the gap for a lot of bourbon drinkers to get into the Scotch market. So overall, I would definitely say I would never turn this down. This is a good par, pushing birdie, good whiskey. Price-wise, you're kind of looking in that mid-range between $50 and $100. But overall, really, really a fan. So, Cilantro, cheers. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the future inside of other Pour Decisions. Bye now. Life is good. So let's finish up this episode. To honor the spirit of Speyside and the remarkable whiskies, we close with a toast, a fitting tribute to the people, the craft, and the land of Scotland. Here's to the Speyside and its waters so pure, the whiskies it nurtures and the friendships that endure. May every dram bring warmth and cheer and memories to last through many a year. Cilantro va. To the Speyside, the timeless joy of whiskey. Until next time, Cilantro. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Speyside. Subscribe to explore more Scotch regions and discover the stories behind our favorite whiskeys. Cilantro, cheers from GolfCask.